Today is April 29th, 2024. Stockton, California, an ARCO station. $9 a gallon. 1206 East March Lane, Stockton, California. We're not even in summertime yet, people. And what, 5 hours from where I live is $9 a gallon? Shit, that might hit $12 or $15 by the time summer gets here. This is insane. Let me tell you what they're doing. They're trying to force you into an electric vehicle by raising your gas and diesel prices. Look at diesel, $9 a gallon. But if this doesn't work, let me tell you what their alternative plan is. They're going to stricten emissions on smog. So when they stricten, right now you have this much room for smog to pass. They're going to tighten it and tighten it and tighten it.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. That was just a quick video, a snippet. This guy was complaining that gas prices damn near $9 in Stockton, California, which I looked up and I didn't find gas prices that high. Now, he said 2024, April 29, 2024, which was roughly, I want to say roughly 2 days ago, Monday of this week. But that could have been an old video as far as what he was referencing, because the last time I remember gas prices being literally $9 in Cali was back in 2022 when basically the Ukraine, when Ukraine was invaded, or however you want to put it, or the Ukrainian war, I say it that way, the Ukrainian war with the NATO allied forces, that's when gas prices was like $9 a freaking gallon. Because I remember out here, it went from being like, I want to say it was like $1.99, and it went up to like $3.49 within hours. I mean, literally like more than a 50% increase. So I was trying to do some research on it, and I was trying to find it. Try to find and see if I can find that information. This is why we have to be careful on what information we're putting out. Not saying that it's not true, but they probably not publicizing it for real because they don't want people to be in panic mode. But it says regular gas is $5.34 a gallon, which is still freaking high. You know, who wants to pay $5 a gallon? Like back in the 90s, $5 a gallon, that's like, what? All right, but $5.47 a gallon for mid-grade, and then premium $5.68, which is still roughly expensive. But I'm assuming that the video that the guy was talking about may have been an older video, okay, or it could be modern, I don't know. But regardless of it, man, we're in a time of Babylon the Great basically collapsing, man, and, you know, all hell is breaking loose as you got these protesters around these different college campuses in Chicago, all throughout the country, really, Cali, Chicago. All right, you got all types of uprisings against the government, against the protesting of this war over there in Israel and Iran. Okay, starting from the October 7th conflict, people realizing that the small hats are behind the war and the tyranny, and they're losing. Okay, they're losing the war. Yet they're not coming out and saying that they've been checkmate, but they're losing the war. Okay, because Israel realized they don't have the military power nor the fortitude to go up against those Iranian forces, which is causing turmoil here in the West, which we already said that this world war will become global and nuclear. Okay, and eventually, when missiles are shot, it will hit this side of the world. But prior to that, you're going to have inflation, mass inflation or hyperinflation. Okay, you're going to have the MOTB. You're going to have a total breakdown of society here in the West with chaos, riots, and all hell breaking loose on the shores of America. Like we're like a split of an event from hell just breaking loose on the shores of Babylon the Great, man. Okay, so with that being said, hey, just got to stay in the spirit, you know, stay prayed up, you know, continue to do the work which Yahweh Shai compelled us to do. So I got a couple of precepts here. It's not going to be a long lesson at all. I just thought it was interesting because it's $9 a gallon in California for gas and diesel. Like I said, I believe this was probably back in 2022, but the guy that's narrating the video, he probably believes that it's today or current. You know, he probably came across some old video or something like that and said, oh, well, damn, gas is $9. But if it was $9, you'll see it, you know, in more than one place. But then again, you know, they could be testing things out because, as he said, he specified that they want to put everybody in these electrical vehicles. And we know the result of being put in an electric vehicle. You say, don't get no electric vehicle, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they can control it remotely. You know, especially with these new hybrid cars.
I live is $9 a
Everybody's
gallon.
seeing what's been happening
Shit,
to
that
these
might hit $12 or
Teslas.
$15.
You know, these Teslas have been, the stocks on them shits have went down dramatically, okay, because people don't trust them. People are driving into lakes, people burning up inside these vehicles, all types of shit, all right? So people are not trusting the Teslas, and Esau knows that. So in order to bully people into that schematic, he wants to control the narrative, because he wants to do away with gas vehicles, because for the simple fact, you know, hey, he wants to make it inconvenient. Okay, the average freaking, what do you call it, electric car may start at $60,000, $70,000. Ain't nobody got that fucking money laying around here in this economy. Matter of fact, let's look it up real quick. How much is the average electric vehicle? Okay. Tesla starting at 30,000, used 27,000, 28. So they make them affordable, okay, in some kind of way. But it says the average price of the top 10 electric vehicles in the U.S. is about $53,758, with $48,430 for the low end, and each model $64,936 for a high trim model. You know what I'm saying? And that's the point. Like, ain't nobody got no $60,000 to spend on no fucking car that's gonna probably blow up when you get in it. You know, because what I find out with these Teslas, man, that once you locked in and once the computer shuts down, everything is computer generated. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think these fucking vehicles have door handles, but let me double check before I make that claim. Because everything is computerized, you know, and with these Teslas, people are getting locked inside of it. People are literally like dying and getting trapped. They said, I believe a lady that was, I think she was like part owner of the what was that bridge that collapsed in, was it Baltimore? I forgot. The bridge collapsed. I believe that lady who they found, they said that her Tesla or something drove into a lake. The Francis Key Scott Bridge, I believe, like she may have been like an investor or owner or something like that. Something they was kind of tying her to. I can't recall it, but they specified that basically when they I guess they recovered the car from the one, I guess they did a test on it. And a lot of people was mentioning, they're like, well, why didn't they just shoot or knock the glass out? Find out that I believe in some of them cases, them fucking glasses are bulletproof, man. So let's just say 9 times out of 10, let's just say if you run your car off a road and you're trapped and you have like a sharp instrument, you know what I'm saying, you gonna bam and get out the car. Like if you driving to the bottom of a lake and you ain't got the window down, then you gonna try to bust the window open to get out the car before it hits the ocean floor or whatever, right? So let's say if you had a weapon in there and you should shoot it, the glass usually breaks. Put a couple rounds in it, or you got a hammer or something. So it's always good to keep something sharp in the car. You know, it's something that can break the windows in case you get trapped. But allegedly with these Teslas, the motherfuckers are like bulletproof. You know, I can't recall if it was her vehicle or that Jake that got caught on fire, but regardless of it, the whole damn car shut down. But this is what they want to force us to drive. You know, come on, man, what the fuck? I hate this goddamn phone. All right, so here are the door handles, but hey, I mean, they probably like computer operated or something. Okay, you can't catch me driving one of these. You couldn't pay me to drive a Tesla. You couldn't pay me to drive any goddamn electric vehicle. I'm not dealing with that. Should I ride a damn bike or a moped or a scooter before I get caught on one of these things? Because, I mean, the Lord said, why tempt you the Lord? All right, but anyway, let's get a couple of precepts here. This is the book of Revelation 6, and I'm going to start at verses 5. It says, and when he had opened the third seal, and I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Okay, and we understand that black is symbolic with death, devoid of light, anything negativity, which that social construct has been put on our people. Okay, the black, Hispanic, and Native American, mainly you Judites. Okay, the so-called black man, which is equated with negativity and evil. Okay, but it reads, it says, in a pair of balances in his hand, which goes into like slavery. When you look at the those nooses that they had around Jake's necks, and like those particular what do you call it, feathers of iron, they look like balances almost. Okay, because you know you have to balance the head, you have to make sure that it's upright. But it reads, it says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that thou hurt not the oil or the wine. And when you go into that word penny, it goes into the denarius, which was basically a day's wage during the Roman Empire. But during the time of the Roman Empire, just like the US dollar, the denarius was pretty much devalued, because they was basically spreading or devaluing the currency. You know, infrastructure was going bad. The Roman Empire was fighting too many wars, and they were stretched too thin, you know, and they was devaluing the currency then. So same way how America is facing a financial collapse now, is the same thing now that's happening in the Roman Empire. So basically the currency became devalued, because it says the denarius containing 10, which a Roman silver coin in the New Testament time, it took its name from being equal to 10 asses, a number after the 217 BC increased to 16, about 3.898 grams, or 0.1375 ounces, which was the principal silver coin for the Roman Empire. From the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, it was seen that the denarius was the ordinary pay for a day's wages. But you notice they started to take shortcuts, like the silver now, like you got a quarter, like I'm looking at a quarter, which is 25 cents now, versus a silver dollar, and it's 2 total different materials. You know, I'm not saying that the quarter is not actual silver, but it probably have other things, zinc and copper and all types of added things to it. But yet when you get an actual silver dollar, that's actual silver, man. You see what I'm saying? 2 different materials, because the materials and the currency, that the materials they're using, they're cutting corners like steel. You know, steel today is not what steel was 100 years ago. You see, this is why they building up these plastic ass houses. Like the average house now barely contains, and I mean, they have steel beams in houses for the most part, but most of these new developments, like when you look at the developments, like you go to the suburbs, you see maybe 4 or 5 designs of these particular houses, but you have so many of these same subdivisions that they all look the same, and they're only put together by like wood, lumber, or lumber wood, and then you got a concrete base that they built as a foundation for walls and a basement and around a house, and that's really it. There's really no steel beams in the house. Now, them old houses, them brownstone houses, they got steel beams in them to some degree. But like those newer houses, I doubt if they contain as many, because I mean the price is still is going up and it's weakening, you know, and that's due to this devaluing of the currency, because Esau, he likes to take shortcuts. All right, but it says here, and power was given it to them over the 4th part of the earth to kill with the Salakia. Go back up. Yep, it says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and measures of barley. It says for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that thou hurt not the oil nor the wine, which the oil and the wine represents the truth. Okay, so let's go from here. Another precept, Zephaniah 1, and I'm gonna start at verses 10. It says, and it should come to pass in that day, says the Lord, that there should be a noise, be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and the great crashing from the hills. This is going into an economic collapse. When you look at the stock market is basically controlled. They can manipulate the stocks, they control the bonds, they, you know, and if you're not familiar with how to invest in the stock market, you will lose every time, because those things are being controlled, they're being manipulated. But those people that understand the trends of the stock market and they know how it works, oftentimes they hit big on the stock market, because they are in league with people that's controlling it. You know, like the elites, they may give a call to Warren Buffett, say, well, hey, look, you want to put X amount of, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars into the stock, because you put 100,000, then you get 100 million out of it, and then we're gonna shut the markets down and we're gonna manipulate them. That way, when other investors come to invest in the market, then basically they're gonna lose, and you're gonna capitalize off they loss to make more money, and bam, there you go. So that's how that shit work, man. It's a crazy it's a sick system. So all you jakes out there, yeah, man, I got 20 stocks in Coca-Cola, man. Nigga, kick rocks. All right, go step with that, bro. You ain't making no real money. You know, I remember back in the day when we used to work, like you work for Fortune 500 company. They will basically coerce you into investing in stocks like Walmart and Target and stuff like that. They had stocks like Pepsi and Coca-Cola and all these other things. And upon your orientation, they will ask you, well, hey, if you want to take 5% of your paycheck and invest in Coca-Cola, you know, when the market hits big, yeah, you don't never see none of that money. And so they basically just got you. All right. But it reads, it says, how ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all that merchant people are cut down, and all that bear silver are cut off. Okay. All that bear silver, because Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is going to put an end to this unrighteous kingdom, man. Okay. This kingdom is wicked and is put together by usury and fraud. You know, and this is the reason why shit is getting ready to fail, man. Okay. One more precept. Let's go from here to the book of Joel, first chapter. Joel 1, and let's go from here to, let's start at verses 4. It says, that which the palmer worm have left, have he locust. It says, have the locust eating, and that which the locust have left, have the cankerworm eating, and that which the cankerworm have left, the caterpillar have eating. Okay, this is going into like your famine. You know, you're breaking down of society. Okay, because like I said, there's going to be a scarcity for food out here. People are going to resort to the streets. They're going to go home to home. You know, if you look like you holding, or you look like, or if you, people coming in the crib, it's going to be a door-to-door thing. And the crazy part about it is that living in subdivisions and apartments is that it ain't none. It's literally 5 feet away. Your neighbor can be in your crib. And they ain't going to knock nicely. They going to, hey, we know you got food in there. Going to kick in the door. So if you ain't got the Lord with you, then you just basically became a casualty. You know. But anyway, verse 7, it says, he laid the vine, or he have laid my vine waste, and barked my fig tree. He hath made it clean and bare, and cast it away, and the branches thereof are made white. But lament like a virgin girded with sackcloth for the husband of her youth. For the meat offering and the drink offering is cut off from the house of the Lord, and the priests and the Lord's ministers mourn. But the field is wasted, and this is the point I wanted to make, and the land mourneth, for the corn is wasted, and the new wine is dried up, and the oil languished. Man. So be ye ashamed, O ye husbandmen. How? Which your husbandman goes into like a farmer. It says, O ye vine dressers, for the wheat and for the barley, because the harvest of the field is perished. Okay. The vine is dried up, the fig tree languished, and the pomegranate tree, the palm tree also, and the apple tree, even all the trees of the field which are withered, because joy is withered away from the sons of men. Okay, so things are getting ready to happen. But hey, with that, call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Akakwadash. Lord, so you were edified into the next lesson. Shalom.